Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com, as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate, RingsideNews.com. Thank you guys for all of your support, checking out NoDQ&A video and watching all the videos during SummerSlam weekend. My SummerSlam review video was actually the most watched video that I have ever done on NoDQ.com's YouTube channel. So once again, I thank you guys for spreading the word and checking out the videos. A lot has gone down the past few days between SummerSlam and NXT TakeOver and Raw. Got lots of your questions here from twitter.com/AaronRift, and that is where you can submit future questions for NoDQ&A video. Let's get started here with the first one today from Big Ryan. Hey Aaron, do you actually think WWE would let Sting become champion, and if so, when and who would he drop it to? I think that the fact that Sting is even being put in a WWE title match means that at least the company is considering him becoming WWE champion. And if he won it, I don't think he would be a long-term champion. I could be wrong. Maybe WWE has big plans for him at WrestleMania next year. I could see him winning the title and then maybe losing it a month later back to Seth Rollins or to somebody else, or maybe Sheamus cashing in Money in the Bank on Sting. If Sting wins the title at Night of Champions, I think he should at least have one night to celebrate and not have his title reign ruined. So if WWE is planning to go down that route where Sheamus would cash it in on Sting, I would hope that they would wait until at least the next night on Raw to have that take place. And I got this question here from Billy Bravo. Are we going to get that feel-good moment at Night of Champions with Sting becoming WWE champion, or are they going to have him lose yet again? That's the thing. I really feel WWE has to go with this now. Fans are going to want that feel-good moment with Sting becoming champion, and to have him go for the title and not win it, it would not be good for Sting. Sting is already 0-1 in WWE, and as I've talked about in previous videos, he really needs a strong victory in a WWE ring, in my opinion, for his character and his legacy. I just was a little bit surprised that he's being put into the WWE title match. I figured he would come back and maybe be part of a six-man with the Shield against the Wyatt family, or Sting versus Bray Wyatt one-on-one. That's what I was expecting. I was not expecting him to go for the WWE title, and maybe WWE is booking themselves into a corner. Maybe they're hot-shotting, trying to keep those network numbers up by doing this, but they've done it. It's official now, and I really feel they have to go with Sting as WWE champion, even if it's just for a short period of time. And I got this question here from Brian Bird. I don't see Sting going 0-2 at Night of Champions. Maybe the match ends in a DQ, setting up Rollins and Triple H versus Sting and Cena. That is definitely a possibility. I mean, WWE may get cold feet about putting the title on Sting, and they do some sort of DQ finish at Night of Champions, and then they set up a rematch at Hell in a Cell, and Rollins beats Sting, or they do a tag team match, and they avoid having Rollins losing the title to Sting, which I think would be really lame if they did that. I think that it would be similar to when Lex Luger beat Yokozuna by countout at SummerSlam, and nobody would be happy about that. And WWE is starting to build a track record now of screwy finishes at pay-per-views. We saw at Battleground with The Undertaker coming out, no finish to Seth Rollins versus Lesnar, and then Lesnar versus Undertaker with the controversial finish. I really think it would be a mistake to do a DQ or some kind of screw job finish at Night of Champions. I think Sting needs to get the title. And if they do have a DQ finish at Night of Champions, then I think they need to do a rematch, Hell in a Cell, where Sting wins the title. If Sting doesn't come out of this with a WWE title, I think a lot of people are going to be really disappointed. I know there's some people out there that feel Sting's too old, and it would be a joke for him to win the title. But I think most fans feel he should get the title, and WWE should be respectful of his legacy and give him that moment. And you're teasing the fans now that Sting's going to be WWE champion. I think you have to live up to that, and he needs to be champion. And I got this question here about Rollins from @M35514HGod. Do you think Rollins changing his attire to white means that he's going face? Please answer in video. I think that was just for the SummerSlam pay-per-view, and I think it was kind of a nice touch because going in, I think everyone knew the fans would cheer Seth Rollins over John Cena. So, I mean, to the fans in Brooklyn, he was the babyface. So why not wear white? I thought it was cool. I don't know if he's going to be wearing the white attire as a full-time routine. Maybe it was just for the SummerSlam pay-per-view and nothing more. We'll have to wait and see on that. It's just weird for a heel to be wearing white all the time. So maybe it was just a one-time thing. I don't know. I don't see him turning face anytime soon. He's going to be facing Sting. And I suspect that he will be a heel for the time being. Eventually, he's going to go face, and it's going to be awesome. But don't see it happening right away. He has so much momentum as a heel, too. Now is not the time for him to go babyface. And I got this question here from Eric. Hey, Aaron, do you think we will see all of the NXT titles defended at Night of Champions? Thanks, and I love the show. That is an interesting idea because Night of Champions is a show where all the titles are on the line. Now, does this include NXT? Since NXT has become such a major brand on its own and it's become such a big part of the WWE universe now, that would be interesting to do that. And I don't see why not. I mean, if WWE wants to continue to build up NXT as a major brand, and they have the UK tour coming up, so they really do need to build up NXT as a brand. That would make a lot of sense. Get more exposure for NXT, get more people watching on the WWE network. I think it would be a great idea. At least have the NXT World Title defended at the pay-per-view. Although, if all the titles are going to be defended, you might as well. Although, the problem with doing that is if they put all the NXT matches on the Night of Champions pay-per-view, then some of the main roster guys aren't going to have spots on the pay-per-view. And, that could create some unhappiness in the locker room. So I don't know how far WWE is going to go with it. Would be a nice touch, but I don't think it's a guarantee that it'll happen. All right, this one comes from @Daredevil_5150. Who do you see challenging Ryback for the IC title next? Well, I think the obvious contender is the Big Show based off of SummerSlam, but knowing WWE and their unpredictable booking, who knows if it'll even be Big Show. They did that angle on Raw where all the guys took out Big Show. I don't know where they're going with Big Show. I don't know what direction they're going with him. The whole thing makes no sense to me. I really don't care for seeing Ryback versus Big Show. Makes logical sense coming off of SummerSlam, but I have no idea if it's going to be Ryback and Big Show or if they're just going to do some other match with Ryback at this point. I'm beyond caring, and then that's really unfortunate. The IC title for a while when they did the match at WrestleMania with Daniel Bryan felt like it was gaining back some of its prestige, but now I really don't care who Ryback faces. All right, this one comes from Water Drinker. All right. Do you think it's safe to say we shouldn't say Women's Match of the Year, but rather Match of the Year for Bayley versus Sasha Banks? That is a serious Match of the Year contender, no doubt. And I think it has a very solid chance of winning the NoDQ.com Year-End Award for Match of the Year. I would definitely nominate it. I would definitely consider voting for it. As I mentioned on the NXT TakeOver review video, I thought it was better than all of the John Cena US title matches, and I know that is somewhat of a controversial opinion, but maybe not. I mean, I just love that match because it was an excellent match. It was a match where the Divas division really stepped it up and proved that they could have a match just as memorable as the male matches. And, Jeff Meacham and other people feel that Charlotte versus Natalya was a better match this year. But the thing is, Bayley and Sasha Banks took place on a major event before 15,000 people. And that kind of atmosphere, you have to take that into consideration when you're coming up with Match of the Year. Because there have been so many great matches on the independent scene. But, when it's in WWE in front of a major crowd, that is a difference maker in my opinion. And the venue, the event, all these things I take into consideration. And the storyline was an excellent storyline. They really did a tremendous job building up Bayley as this underdog. The video packages were great. You know, I look at every single factor, and to me, that match was about as perfect as you can get. And the post match as well. I mean, that's something else you have to take into consideration. I did like the Charlotte and Natalya match because you had Ric Flair and Bret Hart out there. But with this, you know, with the Four Horsemen, the curtain call deal that they had at the end, you know, I thought it was amazing, and I was getting a little bit teary-eyed. So that match had emotion, it had drama, had excellent performances. I mean, everything about it, there's literally nothing I can criticize. You know, and, you know, if that's not match of the year quality, I don't know what is. All right, got one more question here from Antonius. Hey Aaron, why did WWE turn Ahmed Johnson heel and join the Nation after he was feuding with Farouk for months? Because Vince Russo is an idiot. No, just kidding. Although maybe he is. I don't know. I really don't understand to this day why they turned Ahmed Johnson heel. I think that they really wanted to try and elevate the Nation of Domination, and maybe they felt that they had gone as far as possible with Ahmed Johnson as a babyface, and they wanted to, you know, do this all-black stable and, you know, have these two guys work together and be a dominant force in WWE, Nation of Domination. But it completely backfired. Nobody cared about Ahmed Johnson as a heel, and it got no reaction when they did the turn, and then he got hurt. And that pretty much killed the entire gimmick. They brought him back as a babyface, and then he got hurt again, and then he came back, and nobody cared about Ahmed Johnson at that point. And, you know, he was gone from the company by early 1998. So yeah, to this day, really don't understand why they did it. Sometimes WWE turns people heel thinking that it's time to make a turn, and sometimes they just do it for pure shock value and to try to swerve people, even if it doesn't make logical sense and it's not the right time. And in this case, was definitely not the right time to turn him heel. So that'll do it for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Got many more of your questions, so stay tuned to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/NoDQCAW, and stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the latest details regarding SummerSlam, all the post news coming off the pay-per-view, and the upcoming Night of Champions pay-per-view. See you guys next time.